for a country that has been making wine for 370 years in South Africa, it's always surprising to see how we can still discover new places, almost new grapes to make new blends. And Sijnn from David Trafford, Malgas, really far from Cape Town, really far from anything, anybody, anyone, try to create a blend which is based on Syrah, which is based on Touriga Nacional, Mourvèdre, and some Trincadeira, which are Portuguese cultivar. Portuguese cultivar in Malgas, you know, does that make sense to you?
Oh, absolutely. Have you
Okay, so what do you have in your...
Have you tasted the wine?
Yes, I've tasted the wine. Now I try to understand it and try to carry with word the emotion we're having drinking this red blend
This red
2017.
So really, really deep in the glass, which can lead you to believe that it's from thicker skinned grape varieties, or without smelling it or tasting it, could also lead you to believe that it's port. So because of the vintage port, the deep colour. On the nose, there's a Syrah rotundum, that definite black pepper, and there's a spice. And then there's also this melange, mix of red fruits, red plums, red berries, which I always tend to associate with the port varieties.
Yeah, but here we look mostly at Syrah and Mourvèdre, which are not really port
not really.
blends. Yeah.
But they're used as a seasoning here.
I can feel the seasoning, but I feel the pepperiness of the Syrah. I feel as well, you know, the spiciness that comes on the palate with it, and the roundness is, I can understand the seasoning. And yes, Trincadeira and Touriga Nacional can be great little component to play with to push the Syrah to be its best of itself. But the length of the wine is beautiful.
The wine is so exciting because, yes, you can get the Syrah, most definitely, through the black pepper, through the red fruits, and through that malleable, supple tannin structure from Syrah. But then it's not quite just Syrah, is it? There seems to be something else there with it.
If you taste that on a blind tasting, you say, oh, that tastes like Syrah, but it's not. So what could that be? And then you start losing your mind all around the world, trying to identify what it can be. On the palate, try to define the fruit more precisely. You have clearly some red fruit here. I find some cooked strawberry on it. What else can you...
I think
it's so integrated. I'm struggling to...
It's not easy to pick up the different fruits. I think you're quite right that there's the Syrah fruit. So that's usually fruit of the red spectrum, and the red berries, and then also I get red plums. You said cooked strawberries or strawberry jam, but a sour strawberry jam or a piquant strawberry jam, not a sweet strawberry jam. Just please nose that a little bit and see if you pick up potpourri or orange zest.
I had the potpourri on the nose. I haven't finding... If I find the orange zest, it would be these orange zests that are dipped in chocolate.
That's not bad. That's not bad. But for me, orange zest or dried oranges that people sometimes put into their potpourri is a marker for Touriga Nacional.
Okay.
But it's not an easy wine.
It's not an easy one to identify. It's a great wine to drink.
It's a lovely wine to drink. It's exciting. It's different. It's balanced. It's refreshing.
I mean, we look at if you have to qualify the wine, it's ripe. I mean, there's no hint of unripeness or greenness nowhere. There's pepperiness, but you can feel that all the components of the wine are ripe, and we are at 13 alcohol.
That's remarkable.
That's remarkable, which means the grapes have been selected for the perfect maturity at the perfect place and blend into something that there's no more asperity, there's no more differences between the grape. It creates its own path. And yes, very difficult to identify on a blind tasting. You'll find the Syrah, I think, try to focus on that as a marker to make points if you want to look for a banker. But then this level of ripeness of Syrah at 13 alcohol, there's very few places in the world you'll find that. And even the Northern Rhone now these days tend to be too
higher.
warm to reach that freshness, because the wine is so fresh. I mean, what's that? Is that a 5-star platters, if I remember well, this vintage
so.
2017?
I think so. Oh, it's
Be lucky to drink that.
Let's just get romantic for a minute here. I mean, this truly is a wine that makes you think. It's very beguiling, and it's very seductive, not in a come hither, I'm wearing perfume way. It's very seductive in that every time you nose it, it gives you something else. Keeps you guessing. It's beautiful.
But when you leave the glass, just you don't touch it, you leave it for a few minutes and you can even cover it. The level of perfume is like very intense. It's, you know, more intense than the fruit itself. It's that's maybe one of the way to recognize the Sijnn 2017 Red Blend from Malgas. Enjoy.
Enjoy it. I hope it comes in your pack.